Hi everyone. In today's challenge, we're going to solve this problem. The problem name is K Radius Subarray Average and the problem number is 2090. Alright guys, so as usual, first of all, we are going to clearly understand this problem statement. After that, we are going to move to the logic part. We are going to see how we can solve this problem. And after that, we are going to move to the implementation part. We are going to implement our logic in C++, Java and Python programming language. Fine guys, now let's see what this problem says, right? So problem says you are given a zero indexes array nums of an integer and an integer k. So two things is clear that first thing we are given an array, second we are given an integer, right? Fine. Now they have given us a concept, right? K radius average. So let's see what this K radius average means, right? So K radius average for a subarray of nums centered at some index I with radius k is the average of all the elements in the nums between the indices I minus k and I plus k. So basically, they are telling us K radius average is nothing but the average of all the elements in nums between the index I minus k and I plus k. So let's see this, right? So we are going to take this example, which we are given example 1, 7, 4, 3, 9, 1, 8, 5, 2, 6, right? So K radius element, let's say K is 3, right? So if K is 3, so 3 radius element is nothing but on this index, if I consider on this index 1, so 3 number from the left side, 3 number from the right side, and you have to sum all these numbers, this number, this three number, this three number, and this middle number as well. After that, you have to divide this number by the we can say total number, right? So total number is going to be nothing but you can see 7. So sum, you have to sum this number and divide by 7. That is nothing but we can say 3 radius average for this particular index, which is standing at 1, right? So I hope this makes sense, right? What is k radius element? After that, if there are less than k element before or after the index I, then k radius average is going to be nothing but -1. So let's say you want to find 3 radius element, 3 radius average on this particular index, right? On one index, right? So you have to take 3 number on the left side, but there are only one number present, right? So we are going to say 3 radius average for this particular index is going to be nothing but -1, right? I hope it makes sense, right? Now bold and return an array average of length n, where average of y is the k radius average for the subarray centered at index I. Now what we have to do, we have to make an array. First of all, that makes sense, right? Bold and return an array. So we have to make an array, and what that array is going to do, so we have to on that particular array, each index is going to tell us that the k radius array of that particular nums array, right? So let's say on this is our we can say average array. So on average of this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on up to this. So 0 average of third index is going to tell us that the third radius average for this nums array. I hope it makes sense, right? All right. Now the average of xl. Now they have given just these two are nothing but we can say explanation of what is average and what is radius, right? So they have given average is nothing but we can say average of element is the sum of x element divided by x using integer division. So average is nothing but you have to sum all the numbers and divide by total number, right? Here also they have given example 2, 3, 1, 5. So they have sum it and divide by 4. They were getting in a decimal, so they have neglected decimal. We have to just take the integer value, right? Or you can say like a floor value. Alright, so now we have understood this problem statement. Now let's see the example one so that we can have a better idea. So we have this right example. We have already written that example. So now here they have given k is 3, right? So k is nothing but we can say 3. So what we are going to do, we are going to calculate the 3 radius average for each index, and we are going to create a new array, and after that we have to return that particular array, right? So now let's move to here. So on 0 index, right? On 0 index, we can see there is no 3 element. We can say there is no element present on the left side, but we need 3 element, right? So we are going to say -1. 4 as well on one index also -1. For side index also -1. For third index, you can see we have now 3 number on the left side, and there are 3 number also on the right side. So we're going to sum all this number. We are going to get a sum 37, and we are going to divide by 3. Not 3. We can say total number. Total number is nothing but 3 on left side, 3 on right side, and 1 on middle side. So it's going to be nothing but 7, right? And how you can calculate? You can calculate by this as well. 2 into k plus 1, right? This is always going to be total number. So we can say 37 divided by 7 is nothing but 5, right? We were getting in a decimal, but we got it nothing but we have to take integer value, right? Floor value. So we are going to gain. We are going to write over here nothing but 5. After that, on this fourth index, we have 1. So there are 3 numbers present on left side and right side. So we are going to do the sum of these numbers and divide by 7. We are going to get nothing but we can say 4. And same here also 4. But as soon as we reach to the 6th index, so you can see on 6th index nothing but we can say 5. There is no 3 number present on the left side, right? There are only 2 number present on the right side. Sorry, there is no number present on the right side. There are only 2 number present on the right side. We need a 3 also on the right side as well, right? So we are going to return nothing but -1. Here also -1, and here also -1, and here also -1, right? So you can see that this is the resultant array in output as well. You can see. So same answer we are getting, right? So what we are doing nothing but we are calculating the We are doing the sum of k number on the left side, k number on the right side from that particular index. After that, we are dividing by total number, right? I hope it makes sense, right? So this was the example one. Now let's see the example two. In example two, we have this numbers. We have only this. We have an array of only one element, which is nothing but 100,000. Now k is 0. That means we need a zero number on the left side and right side, right? It's fine. You can see here also zero number on the left and right side. So we're going to say okay. So we are going to have only this sum 100,000. After that, we have to divide by total number, which is only one only. So we are going to say 100,000 only. So we are going to return nothing but 100,000, right? You can see in output as well. On the third example, you can see we have 8, right? So we have only one element in our array, and we have 10, not 10, 100,000 k, right? So we have to take 100,000 on the left side, 100,000 on the right side, right? After that, we have to sum it and divide by we can say total number of elements. But here, if you will see, there is no a single element present on the left and right side. So we are going to say it is going to be always minus 1, right? So you can see output as so minus 1. So I hope guys by these three examples you have a better understanding of this problem. You understood the problem part. Now let's see the logic part, how we are gonna solve this, right? See guys, logic is gonna be really easy over here. It's a, I would say it's the easiest problem in the medium level, right? I have seen so far. So let me write a logic part first of all. Fine. Now guys, how we are gonna solve this? So let's see the first of all brute force approach, right? So brute force approach is gonna be really easy. What you have to do, you have to just you can say you are gonna traverse over this nums array, right? You are gonna traverse over this nums array. After that, what you are gonna do for each index, you're going to move to the k left side. You're going to use a loop for let me just write here also. See, I am doing just for I0. You can say I0 to n, right? N is nothing but length of nums, right? You are going to use this loop for each index. You're going to traverse it, and for each index we can also say for each index also you're going to say for j from this particular I to we can say I minus k, right? We're going to move to the k element left side and I plus plus this loop, and also we're going to use one more loop for j is equal to I j less than I plus k and j plus plus, right? And here should be I minus j minus minus, right? So we're going to move to k element on the left side and right side. After that, we have to keep adding these numbers, and also we have to add the current index as well. Once this is done, we are going to say after this for loop, we are going to say okay, on this our average array of I should be equal to now sum of all the numbers divided by total sum, which is going to be nothing but 2k plus 1, right? After that, you can do like this, right? Before that, we are also going to check one condition here before starting these two loops. If any of the we can say numbers any of the side have a less number than k, then we are going to directly write average of I should be equal to minus 1, right? So this was the brute force approach. What it's going to do, it's going to traverse, first of all this will be traversing n time, then this inner loop is also going to traverse k time, right? So this is traversing 2 times, so we can say k, n into 2k, which is also asymptotically going to be nothing but n into k only, right? So this is going to take a time complexity of n cross n, but we are not going to do that particular part. Why? Because we can optimize this one, right? How? Let's see. So okay, this was the brute force approach. So I'm not going to also implement this one in our we can say video, but we are going to implement the optimize one. So let's see that particular one, right? So let me write here optimize. Fine. Now guys, what we are going to do, we have this array, right? See, focus over there. We have this array. We have already written this one, right? So we are going to do what? We are going to do a cumulative sum of this array, right? How? Initially we have 7, so we are going to write same thing. After that we have 4, so we are going to say 11, then 3, 14. We are keep adding, right? 7 plus 4, 11, 11 plus 3 is 14, 14 plus 9 is nothing but 24, not 24, it's 23. 23 plus 1 is 24, 24 plus 8 is 32, 32 plus 5 is 37 and 39, and we can say now directly 44, right? Not 44, it should be 45, right? Alright, so now we have created a community sum of this our original array. Now we are going to do nothing but want to find our average array from this particular this community sum array, right? So this is now going to be our main array. Our main array. How we can find it without traversing k times on the left side and k times on the right side? We have to skip that particular part, right? So that we can solve this problem in big of n only. So see guys, this is 0 indexes. This is one index, second index, third index, fourth index, fifth index, 6, 7, and 8, right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to traverse from k only, k index only, right? Why? Because we know that all the numbers which are present on the left side of less than k, or we can say if let's say k is 3, right? So we're going to say we are going to start from k, we can say k index only, right? Why? Because if we start from 0 or 1 or 2, we are going to get always minus 1 because there are not sufficient number present on the left side. So we are going to always start from k index. Fine. We are going to start from k index here. And now what we are going to do, we are going to say from this index, we are going to say, okay, if we are going to say now nothing but just calculate the k plus I, right? or we can say k, not k plus I, you can say I plus k, right? Both are same thing, right? So I plus k is nothing but we can say 3 plus k is nothing but 6, right? So we can say fine, this is our number. If this is not out of bound, right? If this is not out of bound, then only we are going to take. So you can say, okay, I got 37, fine. This is my number. Now I got this number I plus k 37. Now I need to find I minus k, right? I minus k minus 1. So I minus k is 3, minus 3 is nothing but 0. So let me write here if you can't see this particular thing. So let me just do it little above. Fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say I'm going to we have calculated I plus k. We got 37. We are also going to calculate I minus k minus 1, right? So I minus k is 3 minus 3 0. 0 minus 1 is minus 1, which is out of bound. So we are going to take nothing but 0 only, right? Basically what we have to do, we have to calculate 3 minus 3 and the number which is left it, right? So here it is nothing but 0 only, right? Because we don't have minus 1 index. So we are going to divide by total number, which is 2k plus 1. So which is nothing but going to give us nothing but 37 divided by 7, which is nothing but 5, right? In integer, right? So we are going to return nothing but 5 only. Let's make it some result in array. We have 5. Now let's move to the next index, which is nothing but 4, right? Okay, we are at 4. Now what we are going to do, we are going to calculate the right side first of all. 4 plus k, which is nothing but 4 plus 3, which is nothing but equal to 7, right? So we are having a 39 at 7 index, fine. Minus 4 minus k, which is nothing but 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 minus 1 is nothing but 0. So we are going to calculate the 0 index value, which is nothing but 7. 39 minus 7 divided by 2k plus 1, which is 7, right? So 39 minus 7 is 32 divided by 7, which is nothing but equal to 4, right? In integer division. Same thing we are going to do now for 5. For 5 plus k is nothing but 8. 8 we have nothing but value 45. 45 minus 5 minus 3 is nothing but 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So we are going to calculate 11. 45 minus 11 divided by 2k plus 1, which is nothing but you can see 34 divided by 7. So here also we are getting nothing but 4, right? So we are getting nothing but 4 here as well. Now we are going to move to the next index, which is nothing but we can see 6. 6 plus 3 is nothing but 9. So ninth index you can see out of bound. As soon as you are getting out of bound, you are going to break your loop. So you can see that we have got sufficient number, right? We have 5, 4, 4. The rest of the index is going to have nothing but minus 1. This is also going to have minus 1. And we don't need to fill it manually. We can say whenever we were initializing this array, so we have going to initialize this array by default value minus 1, right? So this whole array will be minus 1 and just these 3 value will be overwritten, which will be our answer. So I hope it makes sense, right? So now let's move to the implementation part. There we are going to understand this particular logic, right? So we are going to write the code in a C++, Java and Python, right? So guys, first of all, I'm with the Python language, and here first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an array. So let's say array is nothing but average, and this array is initially going to have value nothing but minus 1, right? All right, so minus 1, 4 underscore in range of nums, right? So this here we're having a value minus 1. Fine. Now what we are going to do, not range, we have to find the length, right? So we can say n is equal to length of nums, and we can say for range I 4 underscore range of n, right? Once this is done, we are going to say fine, you got a length. Now we are going to say traverse over this for I range of k, right? So we can say k till what you have to do, you have to do n, right? And here we're going to say if k is equal to I, or before that we can check it if k plus I, if this k plus I is greater than or equal to n, then we can return, not return, we can simply break it, right? Fine. If it is not the case, so check if k or k is equal to I. So if it is equal to I, so we are going to say our average of I is going to be nothing but equal to nums of k plus I divided by what of total number, which is nothing but 2 into k plus 1, right? Simple. But if it is not the case, then we have to separate, right? So average of I is going to be equal to nums of k plus I, which we have seen k plus I, let me add k plus I minus nums of k minus I minus 1, right? And divide by 2 plus, let me add here 2 into k plus 1, right? And here we can say like this, right? After that, simply we are going to return this our average. So let's see whether it's working fine or not. I hope it should work, right? Let's see. So but it's not working, it's giving a all right. So what we have done here, so we have done something wrong over here, right? So let's check it. So what we are getting, we are getting a 0 0 0. Why it is the case? All right, so what we have done, we haven't calculated the cumulative sum, right? So that was a simple issue. How can I forget this? So we have to first of all calculate the cumulative sum, right? So we can say for I in range of nums n, right? For I in range of n, 1 comma n, we can say nums of I should be equal to nums of I minus 1, right? And it should be plus equal 1, right? Now let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. How we can forget this cumulative sum, right? Now it's working fine, but it's giving us some issue. Should not be the case, right? Nums of k plus I, nums of k minus I. How can I do this silly mistakes? I don't know today what's happening to me, right? So now let's run this code. We have to do I minus k, right? I is greater than k always, right? So now you can see that both the test case pass, not both, all the test case pass. So let's try to submit this code, right? And I'm still shocked. How can I do this major mistake? Should get submitted, right? And here we go, guys, right? So we have successfully submitted with Python. It was simple, just 5 line of code, right? 5 to 6. Now let's move to the C++. Quickly, let's solve for C++. So first of all, we are going to calculate the length, which is nothing but nums.size. And after that, we are going to do first of all community sum. We don't want to forget it. So we are going to say for I in range of n 1 to n, we can say nums of I plus equal to, it is not Python, right? Nums of I plus equal to nums of I minus 1, right? After that, we are going to calculate create an array vector in average. This is going to be size n and the default value minus 1. Then we are going to say for int I is equal to 0. And here also I have done something silly mistake. For int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, and here we have to make it 1. Fine. And here also for int I is equal to 0, not 0, I is equal to k, I less than, we can say n, I plus plus. Here we can say if I plus 1, I plus k is greater than or equal to n, right? So we can simply break it. We can do this condition on the if for loop as well, but still I feel fine overwriting here, right? So we can simply break it, right? Otherwise, what we are going to do, we are going to say, okay, just check it. If I is equal to k, so you have to just calculate this average of I should be equal to nums of I plus k, and you have to divide it by 2 into k plus 1, right? So 2 into k plus 1. Fine. Now let's write a semicolon over here as well. Otherwise, we will gonna end up with an error. So average of I, if it is not the case, so average of I is nothing but nums of I plus k minus nums of I minus k minus 1, right? After that, we have to divide it by 2 into k plus 1. Fine. Now let's return this particular average. Let's see whether it's working fine or not, right? And I hope now this time we should not get any error in C++. You can see all the test case pass. So let's try to submit this code as well, right? And I hope, guys, you are getting this particular logic as well, implementation part as well, right? Now we got an error, sign integer. What in this case says line 29 runtime error, sign integer overflow. Do we have something wrong over here? Let's see. So what is the constraint? Let's check it over here. So we can see that constraint is nothing but 10:5. So sign integer overflow. All right. So what could we do here then? All right, so -1, this is fine. We are getting a sign integer overflow. Let's see on which test case we are getting these things. Do we can see? Okay, so fine. So guys, we are getting a sign integer overflow. So we have to change our approach in the C++. We are going to do this with later. We are going to first of all let's see with Java. And Java also we are going to get the same thing. So first of all, let's debug this one only, right? So I'm going to take a little time over here. So why don't we make a new array vector of int, and we can say arr of size n only, right? And divide over value 0. So let's give it a data type is long, right? Long int. And we can say this is going to be nothing but arr. So all right, so arr should be equal to arr of I minus 1, right? Arr of I minus 1 we could say, and plus we could add this particular value, right? So this is going to make a sense. Is that makes sense? Yes, it makes sense, right? So arr of I is nothing but equal to arr of I minus 1 plus nums of I. Or we could say arr of 0 is going to be nothing but equal to, we can say nums of 0, right? Now if it is equal to that, now we are going to say we are moving from one index. On that index is going to be this and this. Let's see whether it's looking fine or not. We can say arr. We can say also arr. Here also arr. First of all, let's use this test case as well. So what we are going to do, we are going to say use test case. Let's run this code and see whether it's working fine or not. So it's taking a time, but you can see that all the test case passed, right? So let's try to submit this code. Hopefully it should get submitted, right? But we took a big of an extra space, right? Remember, we have to find a better solution than this, but still we haven't I haven't thought about this that we will get this thing. So, but yeah, you have to find a better solution than this, right? Again, I'm saying that. Now let's move to the next programming language, which is Java. So here wise, what we are going to do, we are going to say first of all int n, which is nothing but nums dot length, and after that we are going to make an array int arr is going to be a new int of n, right? And here we are going to say arrays dot fill this not arr, it's let's give it a name arrays. We're going to check first of all whether it's also gives sign integer overflow or not, right? So we are going to say fill this average array with a -1 value, right? After that we are going to calculate the cumulative sum for this only. For int I is equal to 1, I less than arr2 not arr n I plus plus. We are going to say nums of I should be plus equal to nums of I minus 1, and after that we are going to use a loop for int I is equal to k I less than we can say n I plus plus. If I plus k is let me write here one more bracket. If I plus k is greater than or equal to n, so you can say simply break it. Otherwise you can say if I is equal to k. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna say nums not average of I should be equal to nums of I plus k and divide by 2 into k plus 1, right? But if it is not the case, so we are gonna say if not if we are gonna say average of I should be equal to nums of I plus k minus, you have to minus nums of I minus k minus 1. Now you have to divide by 2 into k plus 1, right? I hope it makes sense, right? Now once this is done, we are going to run this code, and we can say run this code. Before that, return average. Let's see, right? So let's see whether we are getting a this sign integer overflow error or not. So it's taking a time, but you can see it was all the test cases, right? So let's try to run this or submit this code as well. So we got only in C++, right? Here we are successfully passing this particular test case as well, but we got a wrong answer on one index. What is this? How is this is even possible, right? So nums of I is nothing but nums of I minus 1. We are moving this, we are saying I plus k should be less than n. So I don't know what's happening today. I plus k should be less than it's greater than then. If it is this plus k, fine, it's working fine, right? So it may be due to that particular issue only. So let's create a new array again. I don't know what is happening over there. Long arr is equal to new int of n, and we are gonna say arr of 0 is gonna be nothing but equal to, we can say, our nums of 0, right? And here arr of I is gonna be nothing but equal to, let's say, arr of I minus 1 plus nums of I, right? And here we can use arr, here also we can use arr, and here also we have to use arr. So let's use this test case as well, and let's try to run this one. Hopefully it should work now, right? Okay, incomplete. Okay, so we have to use a long here as well, right? Now let's see. It should pass. Let's see. Still it's saying the lossy conversion from long to int, right? So all right, so we'll see how we can convert into int. If it is not the case, so we will go to Google, but we have to solve this problem, right? It's taking a time. Everything passed, but now first test case is failed with a 5, but it's getting 4, right? So how it's taking a 4, so we have to just do nothing but, do we need to use a math dot floor value, right? Or not? Or we have done something wrong over. Okay, we have to use a I, right? Nums of I. Now let's run this code. We are gonna solve it, no matter what is gonna happen. So fine, it's working fine, I guess. Hopefully it's no. Still it's giving an error. I don't know where it's giving an error. So guys, maybe I can leave this particular thing for you to check where we are getting an error. What's the mistake over here? So we have done something silly mistake over here, I think so. But still, I could not able to solve this particular problem. For that, I am really sorry for this. But we have solved for C++ and Python. It's working fine over there. The same losing we have written over here, but still we are getting here an error. I don't know the reason. But for that, you have it's a homework problem for you guys. So that's all in this video, guys. We have already wasted a lot of time on this particular problem. But yeah, we have learned a lot of things, right? So that's fine. So if you have learned something new in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe my channel. Meet in the next video. And I also will be looking the answer, or we can say reason for this particular error in the comment box. If you were to find it, just please write in the comment section. I will check that particular part as well. Right. So thank you.